2023 Range Rover Sport. Land Rover management was not initially keen on making the Range Rover Sport, as there was a fear that it might have an adverse impact on the Range Rover itself. After all, the Big Daddy Range Rover has always been the flagship model and one of the most well-known luxury SUVs in the world. After wrestling with the idea of whether they needed another Range Rover model at all, the decision was made to go ahead, but it had to be something very different. That was definitely the case for the Range Stormer concept that debuted in 2004 at the Detroit Auto Show. Then in 2005, it became a production model, and the Range Rover Sport was born. If you're looking for a vehicle that combines off-road capability, luxury accommodations, and the status of an upper-crust image, something from Land Rover's top-shelf Range Rover lineup should do just fine. But if your budget is slightly less elastic, the 2023 Range Rover Sport is an alternative that's nearly as satisfying. Despite its smaller dimensions, the Sport has a similar silhouette to the more expensive Range Rover, but with an added dose of attitude. A trio of powertrains, including a hybrid inline-six, a plug-in hybrid inline-six, and a mega-power twin-turbo V8 gives you a good variety of choices. The cabin is premium and fitted with desirable tech, including Land Rover's latest Pivi Pro infotainment system and driver assistance features to help with both on- and off-road driving. Exterior design. Like the Range Rover and the Velar, it's all about reductionist design at Land Rover these days. Outside of the design studio, to the rest of us, that means not making cars that look fussy and over-designed. Not that we're pointing any fingers at Audi or BMW here. The side profile is purposeful but smooth, the roofline tapering into the longest spoiler ever on a Range Rover. Up front, there are new LED daytime running lights leading into a grille with a slightly darker and more aggressive look than the last generation. Slim LED lamps are a focal point on the tailgate, too, where again, it all looks simple and uncluttered. The design won't appeal to everyone and is great if you appreciate minimalism, but not so much if you want the bling and excess of an Escalade. Interior design, features, and dimensions. Luxury space. The interior of the new Range Rover balances that feeling of classic British sophistication with some of the latest tech and the option of either traditional or modern materials, including some that are recycled. One of the most interesting of those is trim inlays made from carbon fiber that has been chopped into little pieces and then reassembled. The dashboard sits higher than in the Range Rover, the seats 0.8 inches lower, and there's a second piece to the top of the instrument cluster that's supposed to be reminiscent of a sports car. Beneath that is a 13.7-inch driver information display with a large degree of personalization to it. This should be the main focus for the driver, but for the passenger, or when you're at a standstill, the center stack features a 13.1-inch Pivi Pro infotainment touchscreen that gives you access to lots of cool stuff. Engine, performance, and MPG, environmental performance. The big news is the debut of the new plug-in hybrid version of the Sport with the powertrain designation P400 4-time. This setup combines a turbocharged 3.0-liter inline six-cylinder Ingenium gasoline engine developing 395 horsepower on its own, made it to a 141 horsepower electric motor fed by a 32.8 kilowatt-hours, 31.8 kilowatt-hours usable battery pack. Combined, the system generates 434 HP and 457 pounds of torque, dispatching the 60 miles per hour sprint in a claimed 5.5 seconds before topping out at 140 miles per hour. Before the knowledgeable pointed out, yes, the European spec version gets 510 HP, and no, the US can't have it, not officially anyway. Power isn't the main point of it, though. It's all about being able to cruise through downtown in electric mode. silently gliding past the crowds of people knowing that you're not putting out any toxic fumes through the remarkably unblemished exhaust tips at the back. No, we're not insinuating anything. Should you choose to engage EV mode, or if the car's clever geofencing does it for you, then there's the potential to drive up to 48 miles for the US market.